Hey, how you doing? Mark Levitt here for another exciting episode of What I'm Thinking. I have to let you know, I tried to do this this taping about 6 times, and each time there was this siren that kept going by, that kept thwarting me actually taping. So this is the 8th time. So hopefully 8th's the charm. Anyway, I'm going to be talking today. There's another siren. There's a fleet of them. So this broadcast anyway is about entertainment news. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. I hope you all are okay with that.
You rubbish, mate.
Look, there's always some guy out there who has to say something bad, but look, I'm going to proceed. I'm going to soldier on, pal. Okay? So anyway, it's been a busy news week out there in COVID land. The big news this week was that former Full House co-star Laughlin pled guilty on the whole college admission scandal. And she's going to be serving about 2 months in jail. Now, whenever I hear, it's always like there's this headline that one of her former stars breaks their silence, like Bob Saget breaks silence on the college admission scandal. I'm like, is every one of her co-stars expected to go ahead and weigh in on this scandal? I mean, is that what it's like, what do the Olsen twins think? Samos is strangely quiet on this whole. I'm like, why? It's not like they were consulted when all of this was going down. It's not like, I don't know, she wasn't on the phone with Samos while she was making the decision whether or not to get her kid in that school. It's not like, hey, Samos, listen here. You got to listen to this. Okay, I haven't had a chance to get my daughter in this very prestigious school. Okay, top notch. Okay, top notch. And the thing is, if I just lie, or if I just bribe an official, if I just fudge a test score or two, if I just claim she was part of, I don't know, the Olympic volleyball team, she'll get in. What do you think? Good plan? Never happened, right? So why is everybody and their cousin expected to weigh in on this? Doesn't make any sense at all to me. What else is going on? So this week, disgraced anchor Matt Lauer made news by getting an inspirational tattoo on his arm. Aren't we all happy about that? That he chose to get an inspirational tattoo? I really think that's a good deterrent. You know, if he has a Byron poem, an obscure Byron stands on his arm, that's going to keep him on the straight and narrow. I think that's the ticket, and that's really what this man needs to be good and ethical man. How'd you like to be that tattoo guy? You know, who did that for him? It's like, and after after Lauer's done with the tattoo, he's like, hey guy, how'd you like my picture on the wall for your tattoo parlor? He's like, no thanks. We have a hard enough time with our clients as it is with the reputability. I really don't need an alleged rapist on the wall, okay? I'd rather not have that, okay? Rather not, okay? Take the hint. Okay, anyway, Jerry Seinfeld, he also came out with this outrageous proclamation, right? That the reason that he never decided to do another sitcom after Seinfeld was because he doesn't like to see old people on television. I'm like, oh, really? That's the reason? Yeah. What? That other show you have, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee? You don't try to stuff old comedians into cars? It's obviously a bullshit reason. I mean, how about that you make $11 million per year in residuals as a reason? How about that, Seinfeld? Or how about that your brand of whiny comedy doesn't really fly in this post-COVID world? How's that for a reason? Or how about your lovable Kramer is now considered the biggest racist since George Wallace? How about that for a reason? Okay, obviously more valid reasons. But have you seen Jason Alexander as George? He's on that show Young Sheldon, right? Now, I'm not saying the man can't stretch as an actor. I'm not saying he's not. No, he's an actor. His job is to play a lot of different roles. But he's a bald, stocky New Yorker. And they have him affecting this outrageous Southern drawl on that show. How are you today? How's it going, ma'am? It doesn't fly, right? It doesn't work. I mean, it's not like this Jason Alexander is a lovable everyman that you could just go ahead and plug into any context. It stretches credulity it stretches to have this man just plunk into any context at all. It's like, what are you gonna cast him as a Nazi war officer. You know, what is that? Saving Private Ryan 2 with Jason Alexander? No, obviously not. The man is limited in terms of what he manifests. So, you know, stick in your lane, pal. It's a pretty broad lane. Neurotic New York comedy. You know, it's a broad fucking lane. Stay in it, pal. Okay, anyway, what else is going on? So Amanda Stanton, I guess she used to be on that show, The Bachelor, former contestant. I guess they call them contestants, like they're contestants on that show, but I don't know what they are. Cast? Are they cast contestants? I don't really know. I don't care. But anyway, she was on that show, right? But she made news this week that because she traveled across state lines to get a haircut. Now you hear people all the time crossing state lines to, I don't know, have a late-term abortion, right? Or to get some badly needed medication that they can't get in their own state. But she went across state lines to get her hair cut because it was too long. I mean, it doesn't seem like a valid enough reason to me. I mean, and another thing is, doesn't she have somebody in her circle that can cut hair? Is it like, it doesn't seem like it would be that you know, far-reaching a possibility. What, does she have knits or something? Is her hair booby-trapped? I mean, why can't she just, you know, get somebody else to do it? But anyway, she had that done. That's fine, you know, whatever. But she's neglecting the fact that it's the trend now for celebrities to look really awful, right? They have all these videos out there, all kinds of celebrity videos. They're just home with their kids or just hanging out, right? They say, you know, we're all in this together. You know, they produce all these videos where they look their shittiest, right? You have Kelly Clarkson. She looks awful, right? It looks like she's spending her quarantine time on Mars. She's just like not putting on any makeup. And then you have Jimmy Fallon, who's like has the ugliest complexion. It's like he puts tabs of butter on his face every night before he goes to bed. That's how it appears. So I don't know. I don't know why she did that. It seems sort of stupid. But anyway, what else is going on? So, Jason Derulo, that I guess he's a singer-actor, he came out on the news with this picture of himself, right? He's eating an ear of corn with a power drill. Now, eating an ear of corn is not the most delicate thing to begin with. Anybody who eats an ear of corn, you automatically look like a woodchuck gnawing on a plank. You automatically do. I mean, it's not a delicate thing. But you want to go ahead and add a motorized element to this. You know, the scenario is already fraught. It's fraught. You don't need to add a motor to the process, okay? You just don't. So this guy did, and I don't know, the picture shows him he lost 2 front teeth. So obviously, I don't know if he really did or he's joking. He has missing 2 front teeth, which as a performer, I would think would be looked down upon. But if he really lost the 2 front teeth, he's just an aberrant fool. You can't say he's not. Also this week, they announced that they're not going to show a Tony broadcast this year. I know a lot of people are depressed about that. I don't really care. I don't go to it's like $500 a ticket. How could you really go? I know that now they're showing a lot of these things remote, but they're, you know, like, they're the 3-year-old things. I mean, they're showing Wicked remotely. It's like, haven't most people like seen some manifestation or a clip or something from, you know, or what's that, Hamilton? You know, whoever hasn't seen Hamilton is not alive anymore. But it's just nutty. But anyway, so instead of showing the Tony broadcast, they're doing a Grease sing-along. It doesn't really have the same suspense or wow factor, does it? Doing a Grease sing-along. You don't want to go ahead. You're the one that I want. Whoa. I mean, like, what, you're gonna sing along? It's a sing along with Grease. It doesn't exactly get your motor running, right? So they're gonna have this thing, and the biggest suspenseful thing about Grease is not whether Danny and Sandy get together. It's not. It's whether or not Rizzo is pregnant. So what they could do is have, I don't know, Rizzo's illegitimate son show up after 30 years and confront her. Damn you, Rizzo! How could you bone that guy from Taxi and leave me on the firehouse steps to rot? That would at least add some kind of suspenseful factor. But I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to take my suggestion. They're probably going to have James Corden in it. Like James Corden is going to plug himself into this. And I was thinking about this before, and Grease 2 had this English character, so he could just plug himself in and therefore be part of the Grease proceedings. Well, that's about it for this week's broadcast. I'm sorry it was mutilated at the start because of the numerous sirens. I don't think any went by. Although now it's getting really overcast now outside, so I don't know if it's going to start to rain. But this thing is basically over anyhow, so I don't care. It could pour rain. I'm like, what do I care if I hear rain in the background? I don't. And now I'm just rambling. So anyway, it might be a good time to end it. And thank you all for listening. And I hope you all continue to stay safe out there and stay away from people. And I've been your host, Mark Levitt. I'll see you all soon. Take it easy.